What's up, guys? Shadowman25 here. I got some more Dark Magician replays for you guys that were pretty interesting that I want to share. Mostly against some of the rogue decks in the game. And I have some new changes to the deck. I think a lot of people are adjusting their strategies. A while ago when I was playing this deck, no one was really playing hand traps, so my plays were just going off immediately, and if I went turn 1 and made my board, it was pretty much a surrender for my opponent. But as you can see, with the infinite impermanence in our hand, we are now playing a few hand traps to try to slow down our opponent when they hand trap us. So let's get back into this game here. So we're playing against Yang Zhengs here. I've only played against this deck a few times, and I find it to be pretty challenging actually. They're a card that allows them to prevent me from special summoning from anywhere besides my hand or my extra deck is pretty restrictive. Because the only way that I can get Dark Magician out of the deck, for the most part anyway, is either Magician Souls or Eternal Soul. Both of them typically bring the Dark Magician back from the graveyard, and that gets restricted, so it gets a little bit more difficult to play against this deck. So So forgive me for some of the times in this game where I'm taking a little bit longer because I'm not familiar with all their cards. So here we go. My opponent made their board, and now we gotta try to do something to break it. We know we can't special summon Dark Magician from the graveyard, so we're just gonna special summon the Magician Souls to the field, get a draw, get our Magician's Rod to add, probably Circle, yeah. So we're going to activate our Circle here, and we're going to chain our Soul Servant, stack a card on top. That's going to be our Eternal Soul. And since we have Apprentice, we're going to be able to special summon a Dark Magician from the hand after we use her effect to special summon itself. But I think we're going to try to get rid of that continuous spell by destroying one of their Yang Zing in their pendulum scale. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here. Unfortunately, we didn't read their graveyard effect that prevented us from getting rid of that card, unfortunately. So we get punished for that. We pretty much wasted our chance. So now we're just going to get Dark Magician to our hand, and we're going to attempt to go to battle, get rid of their extra deck monster, try to get rid of their zone. That's going to put our Nightmare Phoenix back in our extra deck, so we could probably try to use it again. So our opponent here is going to activate their spell card to special summon, try to set up for next turn, it looks like. Here I'm trying to figure out if I should activate my Eternal Soul first before my opponent does anything, and I decide eventually I do decide to trigger it to try to get rid of their pendulum scale, thinking that might slow them down, and also because I think that one of their pendulum scale monsters or cards has a effect to add a card to the extra deck, so I figured I'd try to get rid of that. So that's going to be our target. And then we're going to try to recycle our Magician's Rod. I got rid of my apprentice because Dark Magician can't be revived from the graveyard and he's a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, our opponent has another one of their field spells to add a new card, add the same type of card that we got rid of. So our play was pretty much a waste at this point. So our opponent is going to add a card to the extra deck. They're going to link summon into IP, open up their zones for a pendulum summon. So I think that's what our opponent's about to do. That'll get them 2 monsters on the field. And looks like their monster has an effect on summon to add a spell trap. So they're going to get the counter trap to prevent us from activating spell, trap, or monster effect, I believe. So our opponent now looks like they're going to go for their Crusader Avermax, which is protected by IP. So that's going to be really difficult to deal with Dark Magicians because we can't target it, nor can we destroy it with card effects. Not that we have too many of those in our deck, actually. But we do have a way to deal with it. We just have to generate enough resources to get us there. So they're going to revive their 2 monsters from the extra deck with their spell card. So we know that they have the counter trap. So we're going to try to just generate as many resources as we can. We know that he's probably going to negate that our Summon of Rods effect. So at this point, oh, okay, so they got another card to their hand. So now we gotta figure out what our next play is. I think we're probably gonna dump the Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard with our souls to make our oh no, we already did that. Sorry. So now we're gonna get another Dark Magician to the graveyard. And we're going to activate souls to get rid of our field spell because that's not going to be useful to us. Try to just generate more resources. Unfortunately, that doesn't get us anywhere this turn. So we're really at our opponent's mercy here. So honestly, if they were to just attack and just beat over us, we would be in trouble. But they kind of try to overextend here. And we have the Ghost Ogre coming in clutch, getting rid of their Pendulum Scale, and when that goes, their continuous spell that restricts us gets destroyed as well. So we're actually back in this game because of that. So we're going to try to punish our opponent for trying to just do a little bit more than they needed to in order to secure a game. So we're going to take the damage. That's not all that important. We want to have the resources on our turn. So we're going to summon Dark Magician in the end phase, banish one of their cards. Hopefully we get the trap card that they added to their hand. Activate circle, banish, and we did. So now we have another one that we have another card we had to get rid of. So we're going to summon another Dark Magician from the graveyard. Go after that second back row. And that is an infinite impermanence. It's perfect because we needed to get our Magician's Rod search. We're going to add Soul Servant. So special summon monsters can't deal with Avermax, but we did normal summon Rod, and we do have another Apprentice Illusion Magician in our hand, or in our deck. So we're gonna get that to the top of our deck, draw 2 cards, then we're gonna enter battle phase and attack with our normal summon Rod. And Avermax effect will not activate because Rod was normal summon. We're going to beat over that card. Our opponent's probably going to activate Avermax. They're going to shuffle in Eternal Soul. They probably thought that Eternal Soul was going to wipe my board, but as bad as Eternal Soul is, with that destruction effect, it doesn't trigger when the card gets sent to the deck because cards in the deck can't activate. So we're going to pretty much clear up their board, and we're going to go into our the Dark Magicians. Do some more damage. Can't kill him this turn, but we have a solid strike to protect us for next turn. So our opponent draws. Let's see what they got. Taking a little bit of time to figure out what they're going to do with their single card. So they have Scale. We're going to trigger our Dark Magicians. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything that we can use on their turn. So they're going to Pendulum Summon. And I'm going to activate our Strike on the effect. We probably should have striked it on summon, that way the monster would go to the graveyard instead. But it's okay. Activate Magician's Rod, cycle a Dark Magician, and I think that will probably be the end of the game. So we're going to move on to the next game here. Looks like we're going to be going first in this game. Didn't open very well. No monsters, unfortunately. So we don't really have anything we can really do except hope that there can be only one is going to be able to get us there. Looks like we're playing against Blue Eyes. So they're going to just go off and do a whole lot of drawing because we weren't able to set up our Secret Village of the Spellcaster lock, unfortunately. Just didn't draw a monster. They're going to Twin Twister, just blow up our back row. So we're in trouble here. They're going to special summon Blue Eyes here. Probably go in for the damage. Yep. Hit us for 3,000. So we're not out of this game here yet. They're gonna go into Spirit Dragon, set a back row, and they're gonna probably summon their Spirit of White. Clear up the rest of our board. And so we have Apprentice Illusion Magician, so we can get access to our Dark Magician, which is good. They are going to tribute the Spirit Dragon to get the Azurar Dragon, and then that's going to protect his monsters from being targeted or destroyed by card effects. But we can still beat over it, so I thought that was the move to make. Ended up regretting it. Should not have destroyed their Spirit of White. Yeah, as you'll see in a second, that wasn't the right play. But in the meantime, I'm trying to generate enough resources to start making a comeback here. And it would have been okay if I just didn't attack this thing. Because Azurar Dragon will be able to bring it back in the standby phase, and I can't target it. I can't target it because its effect lingers until the end of their turn, unfortunately. So because of that, they're going to be able to get rid of our back row. Probably going to go after the Eternal Soul. So that was probably the that was definitely not what I should have done. I should have left that monster on the field, and at the best that he would have been able to do would be to add or special summon a regular Blue Eyes instead of Spirit of White. So we're trying to do damage control. We're trying to get some resources back on the field here. Get our 2 Dark Magicians. But you know, our opponent is able to get another monster from the graveyard, and I think that's pretty much going to be the end of us here. We have a Ghost Ogre as an interruption, but because of their spell card in the graveyard, we are not able to actually destroy dragons. So Ghost Ogre is pretty dead. So I think they're probably just gonna clean us up here. Go for some Exceed summons. So this monster here is going to be able to destroy one of our monsters, and then they're going to be able to Exceed on top of that to clear the other monster. You can see I attempt to destroy the dragon, but Return of the Dragon Lords just protects it. And so that's the end of our Dark Magician Girl. He's going to hit us for 25 and also 32. That's going to be the end of that game. Moving on to our next game. So here, looks like the character is a Speed Void player. So, Speed Voids, at this point I'm worried that they're going to go into Needle Fiber and do Savage, Herald combo. So I save the impermanence at this point to try to stop their Auroradon, but my opponent doesn't seem to be going for that route. Looks like they're going just pure Synchro. So I kind of missed my target with my impermanence here. Should have hit the Tekka Tomboy. So our opponent did their Synchro Summon. They're going to Synchro Summon one more time. Going to Crystal Wing. So this is a Crystal Wing that can be destroyed by card effects. So our Strike actually could deal with that. So we're just going to set 3 cards and pass. I think we're going to try to lock them under Mystic Mine so we can generate some advantage. Worst case scenario, we strike the we'll strike the Crystal Wing if we have to. So our opponent is summon another monster, adding a card to their hand, going to special summon from their hand with their graveyard. No, sorry. They're going to add a card to their hand, then special summon Tekka Tomboy. And I think we're going to activate our Mystic Mine at this point. Just before they can do any more Synchro plays. I'm not very familiar with all the different type of Synchros that they could have gone into, but I figured dealing with, they had enough monsters in the field that I was comfortable locking them under it. The Mystic Mine at that point. So at this point here, we're just going to pass after we drew and then hand it back over to our opponent. We didn't really draw a starter card, so we're just going to wait on the Mystic Mine for now. Our opponent goes into a Clear Wing. That doesn't really do anything under Mystic Mine either. So as long as I stay under two monsters, my monster effects will trigger. So we're going to summon the Magician's Rod. That's our starter card. We're going to activate the circle here at our Eternal Soul. So at this point we can activate our Magician's Soul and stay under Mystic Mine because the Dark Magician won't actually be on the field yet. So he won't be able to negate us at this point. Right now I'm trying to figure out what the Graveyard Effect monster will do. So as long as I don't destroy a card by battle or card effect, he can't shuffle a card back into my deck. Neither one of his monsters can do anything about Circle, so we're just going to get rid of the Clear Wing here. We are going to let's see. So Clear Wing can only negate the effect of level monsters, so I think we're going to go into our Beat Cop here, and I should have activated Beat Cop and targeted my... Oh, okay. I actually thought I might have put the counter on our Metaverse, but I did the right thing and added it to our circle. Good. So I think that's going to be the end of that for us. Waiting for our opponent. They summon a monster here, but they're under Mystic Mine, so they can't do a whole lot here. Okay, so they use Twin Twister on our Mystic Mine and our circle, so we protected our circle with B-Cup, so that was good. Our opponent probably didn't pay attention to that. So they're no longer under Mystic Mine here. I see that they have a tuner on the field, so I think I'm probably going to try to banish that. No, actually let it go. Okay. So they go into a Synchro monster here that can get rid of my back row, so I have to Solemn Strike that. It has a Graveyard Effect. Add a Tekka Tomboy to the hand. Yeah, so I think they're going to try to special summon that and continue with their plays, but I know not to let that go. So I banish it with Dark Magician's Magician's Soul. Magical Circle. Sorry. So we're going to banish that and get our rod back to our hand. I think our opponent's going to set a card, do a little bit of damage, and probably just pass on that. So we're in really good shape here. We have pretty much everything we could want. So we're going to start off, summon Dark Magician, deal with the back row, make sure that it's not an impermanence or anything that's going to stop our Magician's Rod from activating. It's a spell card, not really a threat to us right now. So we notice that they still have that, I believe it's a Pegasus. So we anticipate that if we go into battle, he's going to shuffle the Eternal Soul into our deck. But as you saw from the last duel, shuffling Eternal Soul into the deck doesn't trigger that destruction effect, so it's fine. So we're just going to do more damage. We're going to fusion into our Dark Magicians, do even more damage, and then afterwards we can reset our Eternal Soul by getting it on top of the deck with Soul Servant. We actually misplayed here. We could have activated Soul Servant in the battle phase, put it on top, and then triggered our Dark Magician, set it. Oh, actually, no, that was wrong because we already activated Eternal Soul, so we didn't mess up. So here we go. We're just gonna set our activate our Secret Village, prevent spell cards from blowing us out. Looks like he's gonna try to go for a Crystal Wing. Let's see. So we're definitely going to try to stop this at some point here. So he's going to activate his spell card there to summon Speed Void. At this point, I think I want to get rid of the Wind Witch after setting a Solemn Strike. So we're going to activate Eternal Soul, summon Dark Magician, banish the Wind Witch, recycle our Magician's Rod, and I think that's probably going to be it. Yep, so we're going to go to our final game in this video. So our opponent's going first. Anytime I see my opponent activate Extravagance turn 1, I'm thinking either Guru Control or Poltergeist. So this is Guru. It's kind of a hard matchup because we do play There Can Be Only One, and that card doesn't hurt them. So, and they play it, and it kind of restricts us a little bit as well. So, and they can play under it perfectly. So we're going to struggle a little bit here. And I think they got an anti-spell with their their Pot of Duality, actually. So that's going to really slow us down. So we're going to have to play a slow game here. Yeah, the anti-spell triggers on draw phase. So we're just going to pretty much try to set everything here. Can't really do anything besides that. So we're just going to set all of our cards. None of them are going to do anything. We're just going to have to play. We're just going to play afterwards. We're going to keep the Magician's Soul in our hand for now. So let's see what our opponent does. We have a Solemn Strike, which is pretty good. We're going to try to rely on that to make sure that we can play under the Fiendess. So our opponent's going to attack us, boost up their Guru, do a lot of damage to us right now, but for now we're okay. Damage is, it's not super important right now. So now we're going to draw. We got another circle, but can't activate that one, but we can activate the one we set. We are going to add our Eternal Soul, I believe, right? No, I think we reset one. Yeah, we already have it set. So I think now we're going to try to use our Magician Soul. Well, I think the logic here is just activate all of our cards first and then do it. So we're going to activate our Dark Magician, summon a Dark Magician to the field, banish. I think we're probably going to go for the, let's see, which one? Probably the field spell, I think. No, we're going to go for the card that we know about. Yes. Yeah, we're going to go after their trap card. And then we're going to activate our Solemn Strike, prevent them from negating our circle. And now our Dark Magician can actually beat over the Guru. That's why we did that. He's trying to flip our monster face down, but our Eternal Soul is going to protect us. Which is pretty good. And they can't activate Hidden City because Guru's not face down. Main phase 2. We can't activate our spell cards in our hand because of anti-spell. So we're just going to go into Link Spider, set up our Dark Magician Banish for next turn. Our opponent curiously activates Crackdown, taking our Link Spider, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So he gets Pot of Duality. I always get those mixed up. He's taking the Prinker Tops. Good going second card, but doesn't do anything right now because I have no monsters. So he's going to tribute set. That's our opportunity to banish the Hidden City. Because we don't want him to flip that card face up. And because his own anti-spell's on the field, he won't be able to activate any more spell cards. So if he did have another Hidden City, he wouldn't be able to activate it immediately. So he sets a card. Let's see. So we have a few face down cards that we can activate now. So we're going to activate Soul Servant, probably get a Magician's Rod, try to get some plays started. Oh, actually, okay. So we got another Soul Servant, another Magician Soul. I think we're gonna go for another Dark Magician summon. Yeah, so we're gonna summon another Dark Magician, banish his face down, I believe. Yeah, probably go for the face down. And then we're probably gonna go for our Exceed summon. Summon Ebon, Illusion Magician, banish his face down monster. That seems pretty good. Let's try to see if we can get anything for free, but unfortunately we missed on the second circle, which is fine. So we're gonna go for the Ebon Illusion play. Summon another Dark Magician from the deck. Go into battle. Banish his face down monster before it becomes a threat to us. I've never seen anyone play that Guru monster before. I actually don't even know what it does. And I think we're just gonna go for game here. We're gonna go for our fusion summon and deal lethal to him. So that's another game under our belt. So that's the end of our video for today, guys. So again, I think Dark Magician is really, really strong in this deck, in this game actually. Again, I think people started to catch on that I wasn't playing hand traps and started to adjust. They started playing hand traps and started stopping my searches. So I just had to go with a little bit of a slower route with my deck. My deck is not quite as explosive as it used to be. Instead, it's a little bit more reactive and can catch my opponent off guard with some hand traps. I think that Ghost Ogre is really good. It'll help us a lot in our control matchup. Guru gets punished by it with the Hidden City. Ulta guys can get punished by it with their spoofing. If I'm lucky, I can stop my opponent from equipping a Link monster with their Savage Dragon when they do their Needle Fiber plays. So I think Ghost Ogre is pretty strong in Dark Magician. I think it'll be good for us. And obviously Infinite Impermanence is probably the best hand trap in this game. So again, that's where I'm at with my Dark Magician deck right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Dark Magician plays. I still have a backlog of gameplay. I'm trying to sort through the best ones that I can find. Eventually I'm trying to move on to a different deck. I did a little bit of testing with Evil Eye Unchained. But honestly, it's just not quite as strong as Dark Magician. It's very, very normal summon reliant, and I'm struggling with my build. Um, I'll make a video with some gameplay, and maybe you guys can help me fix my deck up a little bit. But yeah, so that's the end of this video, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.